Couples who have broken up because of a third person that did not involve cheating. What happened?
One know a few who divorced because of the in-laws. Sometimes a person's family is too crazy.
30-year-old partner of 8 years joined a band with some 20-year-olds. They convinced him that they will never get big if they have long-term partners holding them back. 20 years later, still not big. Never made it as a musician.
His friend liked me. I had no interest in his friend and made this very clear. Not sure what the logic was.
No cheating, but it really seemed like she was in love with her best friend. She bent over backwards for this woman, constantly, and yet every time she'd talk about her to me it never seemed to be anything remotely positive. I never could understand why she was persisting with their friendship. Plus always bad-mouthing whoever her friend was dating. Some may have deserved it, but it started to feel like a pattern, like she was jealous. I never asked, or accused, any of this, but 6 months and it should have been sooner. It was finally crystal clear to me I wasn't going to get anywhere near the level of effort I was giving, or even half of the output she was putting into this girl. Called it off, and really felt quite good to end it. Epilogue. About 4 or 5 months ago, 2 years after I ended things, and not a word to each other since, I walked into a banh mi shop to place an order, went to wait outside since it was busy, glanced up and at a table outside, I noticed her friend ... then a familiar blonde ponytail with their back to me. Not at all interested in any interaction, even accidental, I went back into the shop, picked up my sandwich, walked a different way out of the shop to avoid passing them. Later that night at the pub, I get a private phone call. Ignore. Call again a few minutes later. Ignore. Get a voicemail. It's the friend saying to leave the ex alone, or she'd have to go to the police. I was confused, but really couldn't do anything but laugh it off and move on with my day. Frankly, they deserve each other.
His mother, she was so overbearing I felt like I was dating her too. He and I weren't together long. I saw where it was going and bailed early.
This idiot life coach she's known since high school. I can't blame him for everything, but this fucking moron just coached to shreds my marriage of 23 years.
Teenage girlfriend. She would constantly talk about her best friend and how great he is. She was genuinely in love with him but wouldn't admit it. So I asked him what he thought about her and he was also in love with my girlfriend. So I went too. My girlfriend the next day and broke up and had a little fight over it. I told her all about how I know she is in love with her best friend, but is too afraid to ask him out because she fears he doesn't reciprocate and doesn't want to ruin the friendship. Then I told her that he is also in love with her and feared the same thing. That was 15 years ago today and I know they're still together. I'm happy for them. There's a reason you never date a mama's boy. You will never, ever win in that scenario. I didn't like their kid.